Hi Rishikesh, I just went through the essay you've written. The title is The Topic Given Was My Future Career. To begin with, you could have probably come out with always when I give a topic, you can always come out with your own title for the topic because the topic might be taking your essay might be taking the topic to into a different direction altogether. That might be a completely different narrative than what I expected when I gave the topic. So your title can be much more imaginative than the topic itself. So be creative about it, okay? And let me go straight into that. Like all kids, I've had my career interest over the years. I've had many career interests over the years, like all kids. Okay, I have wanted to I have wanted to be a zoologist, veterinarian, a photographer, and even a soccer player. You have to probably substantiate the fact that even a soccer player. Why even a soccer player? But now I want to be something else. My interests might change in a few years, but now I can't think of more ideal career for me. These two sentences are a little repetitive. Yeah, if you probably can combine it or make it shorter, it would be nice. Essentially what you're trying to say is it keeps changing. I want to be an architect. Probably you can give a little more drama, bring a little more drama into it by describing what kind of what are the aspects which help you decide that you want to become an architect, or when it began, stuff like that. My dad, who's a filmmaker, that expara. My dad, who's a filmmaker, was has always wanted to be an architect. He didn't get to be one though. Probably can give a small reason there, so that it's more convincing for the reader. That question will be answered. The reader definitely will have a question, but I guess his passion for it must have rubbed off on me. Rubbed off is a slightly negative connotation. It might be right, literally speaking, but it is usually used in a very negative connotation. So try to use a different phrase over there. My dad always talks about architecture. Wherever we go, he has things to tell me about the architecture, like architecture semicolon, like why the entrance should have been somewhere else, or where an arch should have replaced a pillar because of his obsession. Only negative things he talk about. It will try to give a little more premise about what kind of stuff he talks about architecture, how he has influenced you. You're talking about his obsession. Justify how his obsession is, and what kind of activities he do around architecture that you have seen, and therefore you're influenced. And what has influenced you? What kind of information or entertainment has he brought in from extracted from architecture? Um, so, has he given you any books? Has he ever taken you to an architect, or taken showed you some videos, or talking about some negative stuff alone? Some criticism about architecture alone won't help you, right? So the possibility, when will you be convinced about a career? When you think about the possibilities and challenges and how fulfilling it is going to be for you, on various grounds. That it could be monetary gain, it could be creative satisfaction, it could be the fame and fortune it is going to get you bring to you. On various levels you can be enticed into a career. So the next paragraph is architecture is a very creative career. That's a good opening line for that paragraph. Just think about it. Think about what it could. I could make it. The following sentences are not that strong enough to communicate how creative it is. The doing a house the way you want to do, that anybody can do. Actually, you don't have to become an architect. People who have money can actually do that. No? So think about somebody arguing about every sentence you are writing, and then rewrite the sentences. Give justifications, explanations, convince people with facts and data, and ideas. Give ideas which cannot be argued and defeated. So I could see this sentence can be argued and defeated. I could make a house and design it any way I want. That anybody can do. If I have a lot of money, I can do that, even if I'm not an architect. I live in the US right now, and here most of the people live in communities. I don't think that's the right statement, because most of the people in metropolitan cities live in apartments, and that is a huge chunk of the people who live in US. All the houses are just a Xerox copy, just a Xerox copy. This is wrong grammar. A Xerox copies. Xerox is a company's name, brand name, so you cannot use it. It's a wrong term, people. It is overused and it's wrong. You should be ideally using photocopies of each other is wrong. Only when there are two objects involved, you use each other. Otherwise, you should use one another. Every single house has the same boring architecture. Even now, we sometimes that's not a right statement, because US has a lot of good architecture for houses. Even now, we sometimes find it hard to find our friends' homes, even after so many years, because they all look the same. Is what you're trying to say, that it doesn't come through in these sentences. When I become an architect, I will make houses and communities very unique and stylish. I'll build every house in a different way. Building out every house in a different way is not the purpose of architecture. I think you should do a little more understand. You should have a little more understanding. Should read up a little more. Talk to your father, some other architect, and probably watch a few videos or something. Do some more, a little more homework, and you'll understand architecture is much beyond all this. And there are many different types of architectural work people do. The architecture has a lot of different branches, like landscape, corporate buildings, how in residential projects, public buildings, and so on, town planning. All that architects do, so you should have better understanding about it. You have not mentioned anything about the kind of education it requires, the kind of investment it requires, the kind of inputs it requires, the kind of homework you do already started doing, the kind of reading you're doing, or something of that sort. Beyond the influence, you're not justifying it by making it more persuasive. To make it persuasive, what are the things, if you were to tell somebody that you want to become an architect, why you're an architect, and that there might be some 10 different things they're saying against it. So anticipate all those 10 things and then come out with each paragraph can be argument about, let's say, money. So take 10 aspects of it. One can be money. So you can say what kind of money architects make, how many years of studies it takes, and why it's worth it, and the social responsibility, how fulfilling it is. Each paragraph can deal with these kind of aspects, and how architects can bring in a lot of changes in the society, how you have been influenced, and how it is conducive to the kind of capabilities you're having. That can be another paragraph. Just by having some interest alone doesn't make you make you a successful professional. You should have the kind of capabilities also. So you have to have one paragraph talking about that to in a persuasive essay. Another reason why I want to become an architect is the money. Architects are paid well. It's a tasteless way to choose career. But truth is, money is important. It's a little beating around the bush. Try to It is as it is. It's a very so small essay you've written. So there is no time or space for repetitive sentences, which really doesn't mean anything. You can probably club all that idea into one short sentence. My dad always, the last sentence doesn't mean the right thing, so I think you'll have to rewrite it. It says that you'll notice every no, I don't understand what you're trying to say. So